Welcome, dirty peasants, to episode 5 of the Wartwood Gazette podcast. This week we'll be covering Amphibia Season 2, episode 19, The Dinner and Battle of the Bands. I'm your host, Mbaticon, and joining me today we have King of the Uzbeks.
I was muted. Sorry. Hello, it's me.
No worries.
Great start tonight, folks.
Also back on the show we have Advent.
Yep.
New to the show we have Nick.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And also new to the show we have Fall.
Hey.
So before we start talking about the episode, since this is Nick and Fall's first time on, I guess starting with Nick, what are your general thoughts on Season 2 so far, or even the show in general?
Well, honestly, I have to say that Season 2 is a really huge step up from Season 1. I just love the fact that you can separate Season 2 to multiple different arcs that just have their own general focuses, like how we started with an adventure, or when we started with the exploration of Newtopia, and then how we're traveling around the temples, and now we're finally focusing on getting back home. I've just really thoroughly enjoyed Season 2. So those are my thoughts about it. Yeah.
Thanks, Nick. And how about you, Fall? What are your thoughts on Season 2, or even Amphibia in general?
Season 2 is good. I did like Season 1 more, to be honest, but just because Reunion was really good. But we'll see what happens with True Colors, I guess.
All right, thank you, Fall. So I guess we'll hop right into the first segment, which is The Dinner. Is written by Adam Colas, storyboard by Drew Young and Nat Maurer, directed by Kyler Spears. So just a brief recap of the first half of The Dinner. Basically, Marcy and Anne, and as well as the planters, are preparing dinner for Sasha and Grime to come over. Sasha's still she's still not over the fact that Marcy and Anne have changed a little bit in their time in Amphibia, but Grime is telling her to put on an act because they need them for whatever they have planned later on to get into Newtopia. So Anne asks the planters to try and remain cool for the dinner despite the events of Reunion. And the dinner is as awkward as you'd expect. And I guess we'll wrap up right before the Pictionary game. So I guess Uzbeks, what were your thoughts on the first half of the segment?
I liked it. I liked sort of the parallels between Anne telling the planners to be on their best behavior and Grime telling Sasha to be on her best behaviors. It's hardly the first time this gag has ever been done, but I like the gag with Sasha having all her hidden knives. I liked I like sort of Anne and Marcy's optimism contrasted with the planners. Thought they were a little quick to just get over Grime being with Sasha. It's one thing Anne's had a historical friendship with Sasha and all that. Marcy likes her. They had some indication when she let go. She maybe was self-aware. But then Grime, they're just okay, even though he's never shown to them anything super positive. I liked sort of the over-to-the-top Grime and Hop Pop stuff. I like how Grime was a terrible guest, but still better at impressing them than Sasha.
Yeah, what did Grime say at the very beginning? Your home is habitable.
And then he bakes a volcano cake, and then he smashes the table. Oh, and when he asked Hop Hop, what frog did you extort for this food?
Yeah, for the food.
Produce.
Oh, which actually does bring me to a continuity error, I'd say, with some sarcasm. There were a few season 1 episodes where Hop Hop couldn't cook, and then now he's like very good at cooking. I guess Frobo as a grill makes everything taste good.
Yeah, and I guess like Anne pushing him to try new things and like learn different recipes might have like helped support him.
Oh
getting
wow,
better
that's
at
like an
that.
actual
So,
deep thought.
yeah. Like I was thinking about that too because I just remembered like the first time Anne got a taste of his cooking, like she hated it.
Now, Nick, I know you were looking forward to this episode a lot. So, what can you tell me about this first half?
Well, honestly, I just like loved everything about it. Like I just loved how out of all the planters, like Sprig was the most spiteful. Like every chance he took, like he took it to piss off Sasha. And like I still can't get over the fact that like he made that cute look at her when she tried to take that seat right next to her, and like I don't know. I've never seen anything like that before, and I just loved it.
I like how when she tried sitting on him, he made like a squeaky noise. It was like a funny callback to how when Sasha
Yeah.
called him a squeaky toy.
Yeah,
in
and I
Reunion.
love the fact that they do that though. It's like that's such a good catch though. Yeah, I just love it.
And I guess Advent, what were your thoughts on this first half?
Going into the dinner, I really didn't expect much. I expected to have some sort of awkward vibes between Sasha and Grime and the Planters, also because of what happened in Reunion. And honestly, it was pretty great. The character interactions were pretty funny. I really liked the awkward vibe around all of it. And the jokes between HP and Grime being equally racist. Yeah. And I think one of my favorite lines in the entire episode was the one where, well, mostly Sprig being brutal with Sasha all throughout. Because listen, Sprig as a character isn't one to really hold grudges against people, but Sasha is like the exception. He fucking hates Sasha.
Yeah.
And just to say, and something just to remark, something that I really found ironic is that the first line of the episode was Anne saying like, "Oh, things are looking up." When, well, you can see the next 2 episodes that will release after. I thought that was a little clever bit of irony there.
Fall, what were your thoughts? Oh, thank you, Advent. Fall, what were your thoughts on this first half?
It was funny. I like the racist jokes. And I liked how Sprig was holding a really obvious grudge. And I liked how he would just be a dick to her at every chance he got.
And I'm looking back at this episode. So we started to learn a little bit more about like the girls' relationship back home, where essentially like Sasha shows a little bit of remorse when they like talk about that story where they like they get they do a party on the roof or something, or
Yeah, they had like
Yeah, they skip play practice and go on the roof, which Sasha acting.
Yeah.
I think throughout this, and I know some other people may have different thoughts, Sasha showed that she really does like enjoy spending time with Anne and Marcy on their own merits. It's not just because she can control them. She does like their company.
Yeah.
But
she
it's
does
also,
like them in a certain
Yeah, but she clearly views friendship as a pyramid and not a mutually supportive relationship. And so that we see that come up with her actions here. Although she isn't super controlling in this episode, she's just angry at the planners for kind of needling her, which I get. We'll get more into the control aspect next for Battle of the Bands. But I like Grime as a peacemaker, which is like so anathema to his character, but he still tries. Good for him. And yeah. So yeah, I think Sasha demonstrates anger, but I do think Anne standing up to her actually is improving her because it forces her to reflect in a way that she didn't really beforehand. Like now that Anne says, well, I don't want to do this, or oh, that had bad consequences for me, Sasha starts to realize that she's been harming others, and so begins to self-reflect.
Yeah, it's a little bit of like a, I don't want to say whiplash, because like I know Sasha's like, later on the dinner, Sasha, I think, feels like she shows remorse after that incident they had back home about Anne taking all the blame. But then like even like the very first scene we see her in this segment, she's like talking about getting the friendship under control and like how she's successfully manipulating Sasha and Marcy, Anne and Marcy in the moment, which is like, I guess even in next season we're going to see a little bit of that slow change from Sasha, where like these like old habits are going to take a while to break.
Yeah. I think
I especially think
I think she does
Yeah.
want to change, but it's hard, and she doesn't want to do everything that it takes to change, because it doesn't feel good to know that you messed up, I guess.
Advent, you wanted to say something, right?
I think this is basically setting up that throughout the season, Sasha began the season without Thatcher, really desperate because she lost a fight with Anne. And I think throughout the season we've seen her like fall into this downward spiral where she knows she has problems, but she then quickly reverts back to her old personality. And I feel like that's mostly because for the first time of her life after reunion, she feels a bit vulnerable. Because Anne stood up to her, and I think the repercussions to that in her mind were that since to her friendship is more like hierarchy, that she lost control, that she lost basically the lead in the friendship. And since Sasha really feels like Anne and Marcy are the closest people she has, she feels like she lost them. She lost their friendship. And I think that she's secretly scared that Anne standing up to her can mean that eventually they can both reject her and leave her alone. And I think she's trying to control them as a desperate last resort to go back to the way things were. And I think we'll see that. Well, we saw that a lot in these two episodes. And I think will be an ongoing arc for at least a long time. Mid-season 3, I don't know.
I really liked how I think we already talked about the sword scene. I mean, that was like such a hilarious gag, and like Grime was like I guess like a parent, like a dad or uncle to her, convincing her not to bring her toys to the party.
Yeah.
And the advantage of like Sasha in these segments is that since we talked about her problems so much now, we won't need to talk about them later. Haha. In your face, Team Sasha. But I guess, does anyone have any other thoughts?
Well, I'll try then.
Does anyone have any more thoughts about the first? Oh, go ahead, Nick.
With me, I mean, I just really like how, like, when she's with Grime, she'll like swear up and down that like Marcy and Anne can't change her. She won't listen to them. She'll be able to like manipulate them, convince them that she's just goody goody two shoes. But then as soon as she starts talking to them, it's boom, like remorse. Oh, like I really screwed up here. Oh, I did this to them. Oh, I feel bad about that. It's like it really just contrasts with how she just likes to arrogantly state that like it doesn't matter to her. and she's just gonna get things back to how they used to be. So, like, I just like that. I just like that about the episode.
I just wanted to say one last thing, and that I predicted that Frobo would become the kitchen, not the cook, the literal kitchen. He was a grill. I called it. I don't know how, but I called it. Like I just called like three things in my entire theories about season 2B, and this was the one I wanted to see a lot. And Jesus Christ, it feels surreal to me that this one theory ended up being true.
I mean, like, Frobo has to be good for something because, like, I don't, I don't know what the point was. I don't know what the point was for all those scenes. You know, where it just showed him at the end, just following the planters. If he was just gonna end up like doing something in one episode and then like disappearing for the rest. Like we've gotten like sure like several cute scenes, but it's like what is Frobo honestly doing there at this point?
He might be
Well, right
important
now-
in True
He's
Colors. He
doing
might
a
be
lot of
important.
laundry first.
You might
Well-
hypothetically get some rocket launchers.
Bef- we literally agreed to not talk about the promo until the end of the podcast. Yet here you all are
Oh well.
discussing it.
Don't
But
should
forget-
just go all out.
I do have stuff to
his
say about
best
Frobo, but not
weapon.
until Battle of the Bands.
His best mode, the Toast mode, the legendary Super Toast robot. He was created to defeat Fractal with the power of multigrain toast.
All right, event. That's enough. Okay, we're going over to the next segment. Enough of this prediction nonsense. So, I'm sorry, but I guess the second half after Grime destroys the table. I forgot the name of the.
I mean, let's face it, it was like
I think it was Draw-za-doodle. Yeah, it was like Draw-za-doodle.
It's Pictionary, let's be real.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's what I was calling it when I saw the promo. Like I was just like, they're just playing Pictionary right now.
Yeah, I don't know who owns the copyright to Pictionary, but I guess it wasn't Disney.
Yeah.
So, are we just going to call it Pictionary then?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just.
Amphibia
Let's call
Pictionary. All right.
Fractionary.
So they play a round of this frog Pictionary, more racist jokes, and
Well,
Sasha gloating, and then Sprig being bringing back that super honest energy from the first temple, and then we start getting more arguing between the girls, and then Grimes' volcano cake ends up erupting, and then we get the fight with the hornets, the murder hornets, which Amphibia predicted would happen, I guess. And then eventually the girls figure out how to defeat them, and then Sasha and Anne have a heart-to-heart talk. And then the episode ends with them all eating from Grimes' chocolate-covered, the planter's home covered with the chocolate lava, I guess. So I guess, Advent, what were your thoughts on the second half?
Really, I think I'm going to start off by saying, "Oh my God, Sasha, stop!" I think Sasha in this last few moments of the episode, we can feel that she really doesn't want to change. I think her development. Before I thought her development was going to be like she regrets things and wants to talk about them, but then as the episode passed on, I really realized that she really doesn't want to change. I don't know. I just found that curious. And in that part of the episode where she argued with him that maybe she didn't want to change, didn't really she really didn't care. She was happy with who he was. I think that was really telling about the ability of Sasha has to take these sort of situations where he's challenged in some way. And I really found hilarious the part how the planters just eviscerated her the first chance they took. I don't know. I think they they only did it for that. Let's be real. They really don't like Sasha, and I think they're only tolerating her because well, Anne cares about her. And well, this connects to what I said about the Toad Catcher such a thing, that she's not in spiral. And I think that the more she hangs around more Anne and Marcy, she's beginning to realize that she began to lose control of them a long time ago. And apart from that, I really found telling how Marcy literally did not talk back to Sasha like Anne did. She mostly tried to defuse the situation, saying that they're friends, that they must be together. She didn't really call out Sasha or Anne in what she said. She was only trying to keep everything together. And I think that's going to be a factor moving forwards because Marcy doesn't take social cues that well. And I think it's going to connect heavily with what we will see later. Apart from that, yeah, I think it was a pretty fun second half. And it was cool action. I really like the girls working as synergy with one another. I think they work really well as a team. So we know what the issues we have. I really like how resourceful they can be. But yeah, good half.
All right, thank you, Advent. Fall, what were your thoughts on this week's episode? Oh, but before Fall starts, I just wanted to say, like, yeah, I really liked the girls' synergy at the last fight where they all like cooperate. I really liked that scene. But Fall, what were your thoughts on the second half of the segment?
It was good. I liked the Pictionary thing. And I liked how there was that callback to reunion and how Sasha's still not over it at all. And I liked the other racist jokes, of course. And it really made you appreciate Grime more as a character because before he didn't have as much characterization, but the dinner it definitely made me like him more.
Yeah, Grime, I'm really glad Grime got a lot of screen time these past few weeks. Not even these past few weeks, just this week. And seeing him interact with the planters, it's like a really nice dynamic. And him and Hop Hop get along really well despite trying to kill each other a few weeks ago. Or not a few weeks ago, I guess in the continuity it'd be about a few months ago. And, like they like know their history and like I really like their dynamic and Grimes' dialogue here. Troy Baker does a great job voicing him. Uzbeks, what were your thoughts on the second half?
I liked it. I really liked it. I thought the Anne and Sasha argument was very realistic feeling and as realistic as it can be given we're in a world of talking frogs. I thought how Marcy reacted was very telling. She was like, "Oh, we can't fight. We're supposed to be together forever," or something along those lines. And I think that's telling going forward in True Colors. That one, she doesn't think it's supposed to. She's got sort of this idealized view of friendship. And two, that when conflict breaks out between two people she likes, she seems to freeze up. She doesn't seem to be able to take a side that definitively, which could be an issue if Andreas and wind up coming to blows. People said I like the synergy they had in this fight. I think it fits also their gems pretty well. Sasha, strength, is going forward and directly attacking. Marcy, wit / intelligence, is doing a ranged attack to take down the enemies. And then Anne, the heart, is supporting by sort of getting them what they need for the fight. So I'm glad that happened. I liked the end, the reconciliation. You know, there's still obviously a rocky road ahead for them. But I thought Sasha, acknowledging that Anne had changed, acknowledging that Anne didn't need protection, and therefore Sasha didn't need to sort of lord over Anne. I thought it was nice, yeah.
I really wanted to see Grime get a chance to like fight alongside the planters, but then he immediately got taken out of the fight. But I guess we'll see more of him later. But yeah, I really liked the last fight. But the you summed it up well, Uzbeks, with the way like that Marcy, like Sasha was going like head first into the battle, and then Marcy was like the archer. And then what were the planters doing during this? Oh, they weren't doing anything, but like, they helped with their.
They were
I
more
don't know, what
support.
did the planters do? I'm trying to look through the video.
I think they're just like sort of standing there, just letting Marcy, Sasha, and Ann take care of everything. Like I don't think they did anything, honestly.
Oh, they're sitting in the couch.
Yeah, they're just there watching. I mean, they knew it wasn't their episode, so they knew they just had to chill out.
It's like, Hop Hop, should we do something? No, Spring. This isn't a you-centric episode. So Nick, what were your thoughts on the second half?
Honestly, like I really liked it like everyone else, and like I think like the biggest thing I appreciated from it was just how it was showing off like, you know, how much Anne's relationship with Sasha has changed and like the new one she's formed with the planters too. And that just honestly just with like how just with how far Anne and Marcy themselves have come, like it really just makes you feel like Sasha's been left behind because like now they have like inside jokes that like the ringleader of like their group isn't aware of. They have like synergy that like Sasha doesn't match up with anymore. And yeah, but like by the time we're almost done with the game, like it honestly just felt like everyone in the room wishes against Sasha somehow. Like Grime was like sort of bonding with like Hop Hop, and was just like, you know, she was just having fun with like Marcy and like the other and like the kids, and yeah, Sasha was just like sort of there, alienated. So yeah,
Yeah, you could see that Sasha being in on the joke. She was really uncomfortable by that.
yeah. Like I don't know. Like I just felt so bad. Not bad, but I was just like just about to fall out of my seat when she was just like saying, "Oh, you guys didn't tell me. Oh, like were you planning on informing me?" Like it was just super awkward.
Which feels real to life when you're meeting up with friends who you haven't seen in a while, even if you didn't try to kill each other. So you're missing context for each other's lives, and that can be kind of awkward.
Yeah, it's a very relatable moment. And unrelated, but the planters have like a shame corner that we've never seen before.
Yeah, I was like, man, they probably did they like set that up for the game, or is that just like always there? 'Cause that's my question, actually.
It's a one-off cutaway gag.
It still works though. Like yeah. Like I just really like the part where like Sasha, no, she makes like her first guess is like, you know, it actually ends up being correct, but like Sprig he just has to take the chance to laugh at her and just call
Yeah.
and like yeah, like I love that. Oh man.
Oh man, I actually felt bad for Sasha because like Anne didn't say anything about like Sprig making fun of her.
Yeah.
But even though like it was so obvious, but then like the moment like Sasha lashed out at Sprig, like Anne just like immediately shut Sasha down.
Yeah. I feel like
Seriously, they all ganged up on Sasha. They all ganged up on Sasha. Even the planters, like they even brought up reunion. They said, "Oh, you're almost going to die." I'm like, what? Oh, bruh, we're trying to make peace here. Stop.
Which that felt a little in service of just restarting the conflict from the writers, rather than something that say Hop Pop would bring up to rub in Sasha's face.
Like I don't like at some parts of the episode, it just I know it was probably just a joke, but like God, yeah, at some parts of the episodes, it just didn't feel like the planters were even trying. Like just when they brought up like several traumatic events for like not only, you know, not only just Anne, but also like Sasha too. Like I was just like thinking like, God, like what is going on with them right now? But I mean, of course, like I mean, Anne was on their side like the whole time though, which I guess I sort of
Yeah.
like, but like I don't know. I just feel bad for Sasha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though the tree joke was a little bit over the top, it was still like hilarious. But like even
Oh yeah.
I can acknowledge that it might have been a little like too how do I say it's like heavy handed by the writers just to bring up those like
Mm-hmm.
the events of Toad Tower.
I
I
just
think
it's
growing
like
up, like always saying, "Oh look, it's the tower that blew up." I think that would have been it. It's fun. And then Sprig lets himself go. There's all this stuff, but HP saying it and Polly saying it at the same time, I don't think it's really fitting. Sprig, Sprig hates Sasha. Maybe he could have brought it up out of spite. I believe that, but not off no Polly.
I'm just
Although I do
like
get in Sasha
oh
and that Sprig has tears in his eyes. Like, oh, all right, we'll allow it. Um, that's funny. And that'll happen in the finale. Sprig obviously doesn't trust her as outright hostile as we would start this. Also, just an aside, I looked the planters' outfits here as well. They were all very Tapper.
everyone's suit, like everyone's formal wear.
And
I
then
was
Sasha just
expecting
has a flower.
Yeah, I was expecting Sprig's like long sleeve dress shirt to come back, but I'm glad he got something like fitting.
hey, and he looked dapper in here. Like yeah. I was just like really happy with like all their outfit changes and stuff, but I don't know. Like I'm sure maybe they're trying to do something like symbolic with Sasha because like she was the only one who wasn't dressed up and like I guess it's sort of vibes of how like she was sort of like the alienated party of the group there, right? Like she was the only one who didn't really make any genuine connections with any of the people there. Like I mean I know like you can't call like Grime and Hot Pop's connection like real because it was just like what it was just based on making racist jokes about each other, but like still though like I feel like if I had to take a look at it, I would just assume it's because Sasha, she was just like the odd one out, like among them all. She was just like the weird one there. She just didn't fit in.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I think it is holding up for a potential suit Sasha for season 3. I think right now it was like symbolic just to say, like you said, that she was the odd man out. And I think as Sasha grows with the gang and the planters and Anne, I think we'll see her in a suit soon enough. So though I find it funny that if that happens, we'll have like one version of the girls with suits each season. Anne had it in season 1, Marcy had it in season 2, and then Sasha would have it in season 3.
Yeah, like I'm sure like suit Sasha is a inevitable thing. Make that happen. But I guess I guess we can move on to the next segment unless anyone has any final thoughts. Well, even I'll ask you. I'll let you guys give your final thoughts on this episode at the end. But I guess anything like urgent? No? Okay. So I guess we can head over to the next segment then. So let me just pull up the credits for Ballad Bands. So Ballad Bands is written by Todd McClintock, storyboard by Silver Paul and Elysia Rocha. I hope I'm saying that right. And directed by Joe Johnson. So the town is still uncomfortable with Grime and Sasha in town, but I guess maybe not as much as Marcy. But they decide to spin the wheel of fun, and then it lands on the Battle of the Bands contest. And then while Sprig and Hop Hop leave the A plot, the girls decide to reunite their band, Sasha and the F Sharps, I believe. And then Sasha wants to do her song, but like her song that they played back home. But Anne turns out has written her own song that she wants to perform. And Marcy's down for it. And then they do like a practice run. And then Sasha has a little ideas that change the whole vision that Anne had, and that eventually leads to like the band splitting up, or just Sasha. And then Sasha basically goes on her own since Grime wants to do a solo act, which we won't talk about until the end, because that's the absolute highlight of the episode. But anyways, Sasha goes on her own. She decides to partner up with Toadie, and she gives her. Oh wait, I just realized we should probably leave it out from here. We'll talk about the Toadie scene in the next half of the segment. So, Nick, what were your thoughts on this first half of Battle of the Bands?
I mean, like, I don't know. I just thought it was like an all right. Like, I thought it was just like a nice setup for like the rest of the episode, but it didn't like really catch my interest until we finally, got to see like all the girls just like jamming out together. And honestly, I'm just like happy though, because like when we got the scene where Anne like stood up to Sasha, like it just really shows you how far she's come, because like she never would have been able to done that like in season 1, I guess, like before reunion. But yeah, just seeing stuff like that happen was just pleasing to me. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really. It's still like a continuing thing where at least Sasha was willing to hear Anne out.
Yeah.
But oh, go ahead, Nick.
Oh yeah, I mean, like that's the thing though, because like yeah, she keeps telling herself like I'm not going to change, I'm not going to do this, but like look at that. I mean, sure, she might have just like just ran out on them like that, but she was still open to hearing what Anne had to say, and she was still aware of like the possible fallout that like that would occur if she kept on pushing for like everything that she wanted, right? Like she admitted it, like Anne's just going to say that she's like being controlling, she's being bossy, she's not like letting Anne, do what she wants. And yeah, I think, yeah, that's just, that's just a sign that like she can be introspective and that she does have the chance, to change herself. But, she's stubborn as hell. Like we all know that. We all know that. Yeah.
I like that she leaves and she still wishes them well, which I think might sort of be how she viewed their friendship going after Anne stood up. Like, they wouldn't be close friends anymore because she couldn't handle having people who stood up to her, but she was still willing to, be on good terms, not, try to kill them. Although by the end of the episode, I think she's learned that, she can be supportive of her friends. So I'm glad for that. Again, Marcy doesn't really express an opinion when her friends are fighting.
Yeah.
Which,
yeah, like,
again, could be a problem going forward. And again, it comes back to the theft of the music box. What role did Marcy play in that? Would she even be willing to take that kind of initiative? And I think broadly it ties back to what we learned in Scavenger Hunt about her not doing well with connections. Like when there's a puzzle or a fact to know, she's very proactive, likes taking on the lead role. But when it's a social crisis emergence, she has a bit more trouble and starts fading into the background. I like some of the gags. Poor Soggy Joe not getting his massage day.
oh.
Toadie. Poor Toadie. I mentioned earlier I had something to say about Frobo in these episodes. I liked how it showed him palling around with Polly. nice expansion of their relationship established in Friend of Frobo. I like the bit where they're charging Anne, Marcy, and Sasha for their time. The line Frobo, too much frog, yet at the same time not enough frog. Fog, not frog. That is a very Gloria Sato thing to say from Big City Greens. I don't know why, but like I heard that as Gloria, not Sasha. So yeah, I liked it. Had some nice character bits.
Fall, what are your thoughts on this first half? I know it's all set up, but
Yeah. It was good for the most part. There's not really much to say, but I did like how I thought it was weird how Sasha kind of acknowledged that she controls them in front of them. I thought that was kind of odd. But that's really all I have to say, I guess, for right now.
I liked Hop Hop's comment of like asking why she's so aggro all the time.
Oh yeah, I thought that was funny too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of just saying she's excited for something, she's like, "Oh, we're gonna kill it. Oh, we're gonna destroy it." But yeah.
So I guess we can probably, since this is mostly all set up, and I enjoyed it as well. I mostly liked the gags of the episode, like the Soggy Joe massage. He's so disappointed. It reminded me of like the pizza guy from Gravity Falls.
Before we move on, I just want to say one thing.
Oh, sorry, Advent. Go ahead.
I haven't I have the same opinions you all guys have about the first half of the episode, but one detail I really wanted to mention is that, well, apart from Sasha being manipulative, trying to guilt trip Anne into doing what she wants, when she ran up the stairs and left the game, she had a noticeable like a sad face while she was going up the stairs for like a frame or two. And it was really telling that, well, she likes where she is now, but she doesn't like the way she is now is affecting her friends. I think that's mostly the conflict Sasha has internally, and I think, well, that's another thing that I want to say for the second half. So that's all I wanted to say, really.
Yeah, it's only a few frames, but you can see Sasha's like disappointment as she going up the stairs. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. So I guess for the second half, Sasha meets Toadie, and then she invites him, pretty much drafts him into her band. And then Toadie gives like a little speech about like supporting. Sometimes it's best just to like not have opinions. Well, he didn't say that exactly, but about being there for your friends. And then later we get the actual performance where, let's see the lineup. We had Chuck with his singing tulips. We had Mrs. Croker and Archie with I don't know what that's called. Then we also had Sprig, Hop Hop, Wally, and Loggle giving their performance, which I still think is the best performance if it weren't for Loggle falling off, poor him. But who was the? Oh, okay, and then Marcy and Anne perform, and then eventually Toadie again gives her a similar kind of talk, and then Sasha eventually goes out to join them for the guitar solo, and we get to hear Anne's song again, the full version, which is really nice, and like the first time I think Brenda Song has sung on the show, and just when we thought the girls were going to win the competition, Grime pulls out his harp and steals the show, steals the rest of the episode. Then eventually, like at the very end, Anne mentions how they're all going to Newtopia tomorrow. It's their last night in Wartwood, and the episode ends with taking that really nice portrait of the town. And yeah, that was really like a really wholesome second half. I guess Advent, what were your thoughts on the second half?
First of all, I would like to mention the Toady speech that we forgot to talk about in before. I think that Toady was the most unexpected character I really thought of when talking about Sasha development with Wartwood Falls. But thinking about it a lot, I think it fits almost perfectly. Because Toady is like this character that has always served close to, that he has always followed him without a trace of that. And while that is mostly servitude and like severe attachment, there is that genuine bit of friendship between them that Sasha really needed to learn from. I think it was a nice way to really have Sasha connect with Wartwood folks that I think we'll see more in the future, like a little piece of that. And apart from that, okay. The band, the little mini sections where we saw the Wartwood folk do their specific numbers, I think it was really fun. But well, the main star of the show and of the whole episode is obviously No Big Deal, the Anne song. I really find it sweet that technically what she thinks right now is that Anne thinks that she's going to live Wartwood forever. That this is basically her final night in the town. And I find it really sweet and telling of her development in the show that she decided to make a song about the things she experienced, the growth she has had. And I think that No Big Deal is really representative of the development she has had throughout the series, where she has finally been happy with herself. This is a plot point that is handled in a lot of episodes right now, mostly Second Temple and Bessie McGrangelo. Apart from that, I really found it sweet to see all the three girls sing their songs together and a little bit of interaction that we won't see in a long time. And apart from that, oh yeah, I almost forgot. Grime is the MVP of this entire episode. I love him. 10 out of 10. Perfect. Best number in the entire episode. But yeah, really good episode. Really good half. I really enjoyed it.
All right, thank you, Advent. And yeah, like I want to come back to what you mentioned early, like the very beginning. Yeah, like Toady was like the perfect match for Sasha because he's basically what she might want from Anne and Marcy, and then she realizes that she probably doesn't want to hang out with someone who basically is her like yes man or yes woman, just agreeing to everything she's saying. So yeah, I really like that matchup. And eventually, like Toadie's the one to get through to her to perform with Marcy and Anne. But Uzbeks, what were your thoughts on the second half?
I liked it. I think that's the general consensus. I like the one-off gag acts with Croker and Chuck. He grows tulips. And the jug band. I thought Grimes' little heart bit was hilarious, giving him a bit of humanization. I liked Sasha's chat with Toady and Sasha realizing that, she can support her friends and she doesn't have to be in control the whole time. It's okay. That photo at the end is just, in retrospect, it's going to be hideous after True Colors. Something else I was going to say. I forget what it was. So I'll just leave it at that. And if I remember, I'll jump back.
All right, thank you, Uzbeks. And yeah, like I still really love those one-offs. And I want to try and see what. Maybe I'm backtracking a bit. I just want to see what else was on that spin the wheel. Potluck dinner. Yeah, that would not have been. Sorry, but like, anyways, yeah. Thank you, Uzbeks. Nick, what were your thoughts on the second half?
Yeah, I know like the second half was like sort of more about Sasha than anyone else, but like I just still felt so happy about like everything that was going on with Anne in this, in this half. Like, sure, it sucked not to have Sasha be there with them during the performance, but like there was just something like really incredible just seeing Anne being able to express like all of who she is on like all of who she is instead. Like she was just able to show that off to Wartwood and just really talk like just in a song form, just really express how she's felt during her time here now, like, how much she's changed and just how she's feeling now. And like, God, yeah, I just felt like a proud parent seeing their child doing all that. Yeah. But yeah, it was, yeah, but still, no, it was also nice just getting to see another moment where Sasha, like, just understood that, yeah, like, while she can, like, have oversight over things, like, she still can just be like, happy for someone and how they're doing. But, that's what I have to say about that.
Yeah, like you mentioned, like the proud parent thing. Like you could see like Sprig and like Hop Hopper kind of emotional too.
Oh, yeah. Like, I was just like, I understood exactly how they're feeling. It was just, yeah. It was just like she took everything from everything she's learned and, blah, 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 done, like, from the first two seasons and just expressed it all right there. And it was just, like, amazing to see.
Yeah, and also Uzbek's brought up the photo at the end, and I remember like in our chat after the episode aired, like you pointed out that Zechariah Nettles was like in the back in the corner.
Oh, God, yeah. I was surprised by that. Like, I was surprised by that part of him being there, but I don't know. Like, he's like an actual freaking ghost that just moves around.
Fall, what were your thoughts on this second half?
Um, I liked it. It was good. I wasn't. I would have never expected Toady and Sasha, but I guess Toady is kind of like Marcy in a way that they both say yes to everything, and they break up fights in that sense. And I was glad that he kind of convinced her to not need control 24/7, and it was good. It definitely didn't disappoint me, but the songs were average. They were like your average cartoon songs, I guess, you know. Um, and also, Feb wanted me to mention that Toady is gay for Mayor Toadstool.
We're talking about that now.
Yeah. No, and like, yeah, I sort of have to agree with you there. Like when you said like, the songs, they weren't like outstanding or anything, but I think it was just like everything you knew about the characters that made it like special to me at least.
Yeah.
So I guess what else is there anything else we should talk about before we get into the True Colors promo? But
I just want to say something in general about the two episodes.
oh, go ahead, Advent.
I really like how in these episodes, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but I feel Brian felt much more human in this episode that he has seen in the entire series. He feels a lot more sympathetic as a character. But I think part of that was because maybe he was acting out all of these things, like the heart thing, the overly friendships he had with Hop Up. I think that was part of his act, that he didn't really particularly mind acting. And so when it looked at the outside, he looked like this really accessible dude, really, really kind, really, I don't know, he, he was charming in this episode. I don't think that was intentional to contrast the Tasha being more honest with herself and being more defiant around her environment, or if it's just haha, let's make crime more funny moment. Wow. But I think that was interesting. It's an interesting way to see one's character in these last two episodes.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
and I
I
remembered what I had to say. Sorry, you finish up. Um,
oh no, go ahead, Uzbeks.
I remember what I was going to say earlier, so this is a bit of a non sequitur. But Anne's thinking about how happy she is and how she's found herself. I know some people are saying, "Oh, she likes it better in Amphibia than home," and that's not really what it's about. It's about that she has finally come to a place where she's accepted who she is, and she's happy where she is emotionally and like all that. She still misses her parents and all that. But I think going forward, it's going to be fun. May not be the best word, but in true colors. When the truth about Sasha and the possible Marcy betrayal emerge, we she may find that challenge. She might begin to have some self-doubt again, might fall back on old habits. It'll be interesting to see how this new sort of self-confident Anne handles being repeatedly punched in the jaw and just stabbed in the back by the entire world going forward.
It's a really interesting way to see Anne's development because in season one, he was basically fighting to get out of that shell Sasha put in her about the friendship, about the way she felt about herself. And season two was Anne getting used to that. So Anne in the next season really actually being the fight in her new way of life and having to fight to keep feeling the things she feels about herself and her personality. I think that would be a really good focus for season three because even if Anne is more satisfied with herself, it's not really the end of her story. It's about the world around her that affects her and how she can manage that in the future.
Thank you, Edmund. Yeah, like I think I'm going to get back to your point. I just wanted because that's really a good way to get into the speculation of what will happen next week. But I just want to say like Troy Baker is such a great voice actor. I'm glad. I think this episode really like gave him the opportunity to like do more with Grimes' character and give like a really like memorable performance. So
Yeah.
yeah, like I'm happy. Yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead, Paul.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Graham was really good this episode. It really humanized him a lot with the door scene where he refused to team up with Sasha and with the harp. I thought that was funny.
Grime would do some kind of like last minute plot to take over the town, like similar to what happened in End of the Year. But I'm glad that this segment it gave us more like it didn't it gave us more like gave us more finality with Wartwood because I know in End of the Year that basically ended on a cliffhanger, but here it has it has its own ending. And like I'm happy. Oh, go ahead, Uzbeks.
Yeah, I wonder how much of this is just a goodbye to Wartwood. I don't know what's happening in season 3, but they could be on the run for most of it, or captured, or in Utopia. And I wonder if we're gonna have another run of episodes where they're regularly just sort of hanging around Wartwood, vibing with the residents. And I wonder if this is sort of the last townie episode. Certainly the last one of the season and the last one before the status quo gets screwed up. And I mean, obviously there's the lingering problem of Bog. But certainly it's a cap on sort of the small town gag episode that was so much of season 1, and then in the latter half of season 2 we saw a lot of. So it's certainly a farewell. And I appreciate how they were all sort of sad to see Anne go. And the mayor took the time to announce Anne's departure with sort of a sad voice. And so that was another nice bit of character growth from him.
Yeah, so it did feel like this might be the last time we'll see Wartwood for a while, but but Bog's presence most likely is going to be what makes us return, or like Bog's position as like captain of Frog Valley for sure is going to come back, and that's going to make planners have a reason to return in season 3 for sure. It's just whether the town will change or not. That's what we don't know yet. But I guess we can go into.
I just want to say one last thing before.
Oh, go ahead, Advent.
Yeah, I feel like the last scene had a sense of finality in terms of the Wartwood dynamic, mostly because there were a lot of cameos about characters that we hadn't seen like since season 1 actually. More specifically, that vlog from Broken Punishment, the massage lady from Girl Time, like all these small cameos in one. It's really, really odd that they decided to have this last scene be so definitive. Like, oh, and it's going and it's leaving. Let's take one final photo. That's like serious finale material, not season finale. So I think that season 3 will have Wartwood be shaped up in such a way that the normal dynamics we had before would be just impossible.
Yeah, like I really think. I mean, yeah, really, guys' points are just like really good ways to look at it, and like, yeah, I think you can really just see how it's like, just like it's like it's like the conclusion of like the story of Anne just having her own individual adventures in Wartwood, because like, yeah, she's taken in like all the lessons she could from like Wartwood, and just the song itself, it's like a thank you message to everyone who's been a part of her life here, and yeah.
Yeah, it's like Uzbek said, we're going to look back at this photo and we're going to have mixed emotions about it. But I guess now we can probably talk about the True Colors promo, which dropped this morning. And I know you guys really want to talk about it. And I know I really wanted to talk about it. So we were. I can't even recap this promo because things happen.
It's a very generic. Nothing that, I mean, obviously individual scenes we didn't, but the general plot. Oh no, the Toads are invading Newtopia. Interpersonal conflict. You all sort of knew that was coming. Some great scenes. That'll be very interesting. But yeah, it's just sort of a flash of action scenes. It's not a coherent clip like we've seen on occasion.
I guess what we could do is first, hopefully, to try and narrow down the conversation, maybe each of us can get a little bit of time to talk about something they want to talk about from the promo. So I guess like Fall, like what were your thoughts on the promo? Like, is there anything that stands out to you?
Yunan, of course. But other than that,
Of course, that's good. Of course.
No, the fight, the fight, looks interesting. You know,
I did like the Yunnan on the ceiling and then Andreas getting down on all fours. It reminds me of when in the Planners Check-In, Bella swam up like when dudes get real aggressive, they get on all fours and start chasing you, and that's when you know shit got real.
Yeah, that was terrifying because literally right before I watched the promo, like, I was just like, I was still coping with the idea that Andreas might be evil, and I was like rewatching the scene where he meets the planters, and like, and then like I just open up like the promo, and I just see him on all fours screeching at Grime. I was like, what the hell? Like, is this seriously Andreas? Like, I was just blown away with that.
And I mean, that's a testament to Daryl's Warhammer. If it's made to knock over Andreas even just a bit.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, I just I just hope he has like. I just hope Beryl seriously is the guy in the in the painting, and he just freaks out about Grime even having that hammer. Like that's what I'm really like. It's like character moments like that I'm really crossing my fingers for. But like the thing that stood out most to me was like like it was like Fall's thing, but like not Yunnan, but like like the fight between Anna and Sasha. That because like it's going to be like I think you can already tell that just based off of like Anne's like her facial expressions, her words, like how she gives them off. Like you can tell this is different from our fight in Reunion. Like this isn't her regaining her autonomy. Like this isn't her standing up for Sprig. This is just her, officially done with Sasha. She's just like she's pissed off. She's like she's hurt. Like she feels betrayed, and she just wants to like throw all that pain back at Sasha. Like that's just basically how I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
When have we heard Anne say, "Try and stop me"?
Yeah. Like I feel like we can sort of piece together just like we may be able to based off the events in this trailer, but I guess we'll probably just talk about that later.
And because we never really saw. We've seen Andreas mostly just be like a happy-go-lucky guy, and then maybe be a little bit like suspicious. But like here, he's just like he's lost his cool. So I don't. Depending on how much we know, Andreas knows isn't really too concerned about the rebellion. He's more concerned about whatever is going on with the Calamity Box. So maybe the sight of Beryl's Warhammer, assuming he's the same guy in the in the painting, maybe that's what causes Andreas to have like such a strong reaction towards probably Grime, and like running towards him on all fours. And yeah, both Andreas and Yunnan are like acting more like newts, I guess.
I will say the fact that
go
Beryl's
ahead.
Warhammer was sort of isolated and embedded in this worm, and the Code Legend is about him sacrificing himself, Beryl, that is, for a village. I think that even if Beryl is the one in the painting, it's unlikely Andreas directly killed him, like some of us have been theorizing.
Yeah. I just want to note that there was a scene in the promo with Sasha and Grimes' hands bound, so I guess they do stop him at some point.
Oh, I apologize for playing the promo. That was me.
I think the reason Andreas could be angry, like lose his cool, really. The reason Andreas lost his cool is there was a scene that Sasha was holding the Calamity Box, and I think the thing that Andreas learns most is that box, and I think Sasha having it in that moment, and Ryan also attacking him with Beryl's Warhammer, I think that might set him off.
Sort of to go off of what Fall was saying, I'm interested to see what Sasha and Grimes' sort of detailed version of the plan is. Because like I can see Sasha getting in because she's friends with Anne, but I mean Grimes is a wanted criminal of Utopia. I'm not sure why they thought he would be able to sneak in unopposed.
Sorry, Uzbeks. I just realized that my audio for the promo, I think, might have drowned out Nick. It's like, sorry, Nick. Nick. Give your thoughts again about like.
I don't even. I mean,
I'm trying to remember what you said. I'm so sorry.
I was talking about like the fight. Yeah, I was talking about the fight between like Anne and Sasha and just how. Well, I mean, it's definitely going to be different from what we got in like Reunion because this one's just more focused on like just like the raw emotions from Anne, just like her anger, like her sadness, her feeling of like betrayal. It's all just going to be thrown back at like Sasha this time because she really opened up her heart to Sasha. Like she really wanted to restart something with Sasha. Like she's the one who initially asked like multiple times. Like she's the one who's been hurt herself, and she's the one who's gone to Sasha from the start, constantly asking her, hey, can we restart this friendship? Can we do better this time? And yeah, and like she's going to be hurt by Sasha, and she's going to throw that back at her.
Yeah, and even it starts as like a sword fight, and then later it looks like Anne is punching her.
Yeah, like, and then she's just scream. yeah. We see her punching the screen, and then there's like a scream, and then boom, there's an explosion. But yeah, I don't know, like that was just like dramatic as hell.
Yeah.
Have we gone to
This is
fist
the
fight
first time
in
we've
Amphibia?
seen Anne like
Uh,
really angry.
I don't.
Oh, sorry, Advent, go ahead.
I think this is the first time Anne has been like so angry that she literally hits someone. She mostly gets frustrated or annoyed, but this is the very first time we see Anne legitimately angry. I think she might actually punch Sasha.
And I guess
She's
in
gonna
terms
beat
of
her
fist
up.
fight, we did get Hop Hop versus Toadstool back in Hot Popular, but I guess they were wearing those like mushroom boxing gloves, but like this looks like an
Yeah,
actual fist fight.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it looks like one that Anne's gonna win. Like, just from what we
I'm not
saw
sure.
there.
I mean, I think Sasha, with her training, probably beats Anne if she wants to fight. Now, if Anne is attacking her because Anne was manipulated, or if Sasha is feeling guilty and doesn't really want to fight, she may wind up losing because her heart isn't in it. I think
There's.
the just the sort of overall positions are interesting because we see Grime pull out the Warhammer inside the throne room and Hunon sneaking over the toes inside the throne room. We see Grime on the balcony. But then we also see fighting on the walls between Anne and Sasha. Seemingly later, maybe? We see the Toads at the very beginning. The Toads are in control of some sort of dungeon. My theory that's the Colosseum. I don't know for sure. And then there are Toads already in the city. But then, what's this? Buffo? I don't know the correct pronunciation. The Toad Lord is advancing with an army. So there seem to be multiple waves of Toads, and it seems very fluid in where everyone is in this sort of great battle for Newtopia.
Yeah, so judging, like we know that Utopia is like a really large city, so there's probably like battles happening on multiple fronts. And Hop Up does mention, oh, there's more on the way. So maybe I know we get a scene of the gates opening up on like on the planters and including I think Grime and Sasha. You can see the Rebellion logo, but I'm not sure if you can see Marcy or not. So like since I'm assuming Joe Sparrow is flying everyone to Newtopia somehow, even though Frobo was also there and he was like super heavy. Like maybe like Marcy and Joe fly overhead to open the gates, and then like Marcy gives like the exposition that like the Toads have like taken over, and like I don't know. I'm guessing Newtopia has more than one gate, so maybe they're just like going through like one side that isn't infested with Toads. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not even. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how like the Toads are gonna get in either. But I mean, I'm pretty sure they already know that like Sasha and Grime are technically like criminals on the run right now. So I'm not sure. Like I'm not even sure. I'm guessing they'll probably have to sneak in both of them into Newtopia, right? And like maybe they'll give like the other Toads a chance to get in themselves. But yeah, I'm just like I have no clue. But I do know. I think there is a point in the trailer where Grime is sort of like calling in his Toads to like his told soldiers to go invade the city because like it's
He's
just
in the
like when he's
balcony.
raising. Yeah, when he's at the balcony, he's just like raising the hammer up into the air, and he's just like oh, I don't want to say.
Giving
I'm
like a
going to
war
say like
cry.
roaring. Yeah, like a war cry for everyone to hear. But yeah,
Yeah.
I noticed how Sprig probably has the least amount of screen time in this, aside from maybe Hop Hop, which I noticed Polly got a lot of moments in this
Oh, yeah.
trailer.
Polly
Oh
was
yeah,
scratching her butt. Polly's getting legs this episode.
she's getting like. I mean, I'm happy about that, but I feel like I'm just enjoying the fact that she's getting a team up for Yunnan because like it just makes sense. It just makes sense. Of course, you're gonna have them pair up
that
together.
emanates from
Yeah.
just the
Yeah.
pure, just like season 3 episode, Polly, Yunnan, and Sasha
Probo.
hunt down some bandits or something in season 3, and those 4 bandits get absolutely just murdered. Yeah, it's a great dynamic that I hadn't really thought of, but in retrospect is very good. Well, not quite in retrospect yet, but you know.
Yeah.
It's going to be super odd seeing Polly with legs now because I very much think either she gets her redesign or she is just literally Polly, but she has legs now, like lazily pasted legs, regular noodle legs.
My thought is we'll probably just get Polly with legs this episode, and then next season we'll get some sort of intermediate design.
Oh, like we'll get a time skip in between season 2 and 3.
Well, at least a couple of weeks or so. That'll.
I'm not gonna be if it's just a bunch of. If it's just like 2 pink sticks just like sticking out, I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna be able to vibe with that. Like that's gonna look so weird.
Yeah,
I don't think I'll be able to get used to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually did a trailer, but anyway, yeah, that'll be
like
weird.
nice
It'll be
and
fine
stuff
for
like
like an
that.
episode or so, but I don't think that's a long-term viable character design.
Yeah.
Also, I have a feeling her legs are gonna look weird.
Well,
Just uncanny.
anything's gonna look weird at this point because we're so used to her being the polywog.
Yeah.
Oh,
Muscle legs.
I'm gonna miss that.
Me too.
And I mean, would it be like from like a production standpoint, would it be easier? Like, would the show be able to manage like Polly slowly growing her limbs throughout the show, or would they just do a small time skip and then just give Polly like a new redesign for season
I
3?
think the best thing to do
Like,
it.
maybe like
Not
a
every
small time skip.
episode. Not every
yeah,
episode,
yeah.
I don't think. It
Yeah.
would be difficult to do that. You could probably do a couple, like you have a new design for True Colors, and then the first episode of season 3, she still has her tail or whatever, and then her tail drops. But you're going to have to pick sort of a base design for Polly with legs. And I mean, in between the seasons, that hiatus, that production time is a good time to do that sort of redesign.
I definitely think that we will see Polly with legs, but like early season 3, we'll have an episode where she fully grows into a regular frog. Because I think it would be much easier to just condense every single part of that development into one episode than just have the Polly grow up limbs like episode per episode until like she fully matures. I think having one episode focused on that would go a long way in developing that.
I can see like an episode where Polly's like tail falls off, and then we get like a Polly Hop Hop episode where like Hop Hop like fights through like hordes of enemies just to add that like dried up tail to his like memory box.
I could also see an
That we
episode.
saw.
You
Oh,
can
go ahead,
continue.
Ethan.
Sorry, no, you
Oh,
continue. I've been interrupting you enough.
Oh, like I was just talking about like Hop Hop had that like that box of memories of Sprig back in Sprig Gets Schooled. So it'd be nice to see Polly's box too.
Yeah. I think an episode in season 3 where Polly has legs now she has to go to school or has to help out around the farm more, and like she's not the cute little baby anymore, sort of dealing with that and learning how to walk properly. That could be a very fun season 3 episode. So, but we shall see.
And I mean, once she gets legs, like I'm assuming she's not gonna know how to walk, and she'll probably just like hop around with her legs and then maybe kick occasionally. Not occasionally. She'll probably kick more.
I think that's the kind of thing where it'll be glossed over in True Colors because that's not the true focus of this episode. But then early in season 3, we'll have sort of an episode dedicated to that. Hopefully.
Yeah, I feel like it's just going to be like I don't know. I can't see it doing anything like significant in True Colors. Like I think it'll just be like a fun surprise. It's like a fun, nice surprise for us to look at. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll be able to. I don't know if they'll be able to pull it off well, since there's already going to be a lot in the episode as a whole. But I hope it.
My guess. I'm sorry, I'm echoing. Is that there's some cool moment? They're cornered, evildoer, someone's not evil, and Polly grows her legs. They pop out, and she just kicks it in the face. Kind of a one-off, great, awesome moment, and then that's sort of it for the episode. Like it's her moment in this episode, but it's not like an arc in this episode, if that makes sense.
Polly gets so angry that she literally grows legs to kick someone in the face.
That's very in character.
Yeah.
I know Joy mentioned, or I think everyone mentioned, because I'm oblivious to this, that like Polly was scratching her. Well, Sprig says that Polly was scratching her butt in that like, final scene.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I didn't think about her getting like her legs until someone pointed that out to me. Like I was like, oh, so that's what it was for. Okay, but
Yeah.
I just forgot about that. Like I just the idea of her getting her just getting her legs. I was just like focused on everything else the episode would bring us.
Yeah, there's a lot happening in True Color.
Many things are happening.
Anne's also a lot angrier than I anticipated, judging from the promo.
She's very angry.
Hilarious.
I am very funny.
Feb is nodding to himself.
Like I just feel like such a clown though, because like I just seriously thought that like by True Colors, Sasha would be like, not like I don't want to use. I already hate using the word redeemed. Like I thought she would like be a better person by then. Just like try to be able to talk to Anne, calm her down. But I just really doubt. I feel like Anne's gonna be like, either you put up your sword, like either you put your swords up now, or you're gonna get in a lot, or you're gonna be in a lot of pain. But I don't know. It just really sucks to see her like that.
Sasha will try to talk Anne down, but her thing will be like, well, it's not as bad as it could be, or well, I told Ron to spare your family. Like Sasha's gonna try, but like she's bad at it.
But like,
and Anne's not gonna be in a mood for listening.
Yeah.
Definitely see a scene like Sasha tries every trick of her sleeve, try and control the situation, but Anne just like, no, go to hell. And then she just hits her and the fight begins. Like Sasha tries to manipulate her, is repulsed to her, but Anne like is far beyond that point now. She literally doesn't care anymore.
Honestly, like, I'm just. Oh, I'm sorry. Now let's go. Sorry, my bad.
Oh no, go ahead, Nick.
No, I was just gonna ask where like Marcy was, because it's like, what is her proposition of Andreas? Like, what is she doing? Like, I've had a lot of people tell me this. Like, it's supposed to be Marcy's season, but it's like, where's she at though? Like, where's she been? Like, what is she doing this season? Like, what is she doing in this episode?
Might be with Andreas, maybe.
It's in the basement.
That's true.
So Marcy got the least amount of screen time in this. Even less than like Sprig. So I'm guessing, well, not guessing for sure, like she's gonna be a big role. Maybe all of her scenes are too spoilery.
Except Disney. I'm not sure they quite care about that, but.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But but I could see they've been fairly good this season, even if there have been a few slips. So I think it's possible Marcy's role remains shrouded for the moment.
Yeah, I hope the episode doesn't get leaked, because that'd ruin it.
Yeah, I doubt. I think we're gonna get some more. For those of you who don't know, the trailer was leaked ahead of its official release by Disney, and there's been a couple more trailer screen caps that have hit the web, and I won't get into any more detail other than they exist.
We don't need to talk about those.
Exactly.
Honestly, I just feel
So
bad for Matt.
I don't think there's going to be any leaks aside from that sort of trailer stuff. I don't think there's going to be a full episode leak,
Yeah,
which
Yeah.
of course is jinxing it. I know, but
Advent, you wanted to
Yeah.
say something?
Yeah. I just wanted to say something that I don't. Well, I was just thinking, man, I feel bad for Matt because this is the episode he wanted people to recognize the show for. He really hyped it up. He really said, like, avoid spoilers, be worried about spoilers, and all this promo and leaks. I kind of feel bad for the team because this is the episode they probably put their heart and soul into. And it's probably going to be spoiled like a solid 4 days before the premiere. And by the time it comes out, the hype might have died down.
Yeah, I know Matt probably doesn't have as much like control. I think he's said that like the executives that handle marketing, they're they apparently tell the showrunners or like the people who work on the show that like they know what they're doing, which I don't know how to like comment on that.
I think there's just an inherent divide between the creator who wants to see their work presented as it was, and the ad person whose job is to hype up the show and show you things that make you want to watch it. But of course, all the things that are really cool and really big reveals that make you want to watch the full episode are spoilers, or at least minor spoilers. I know some people get real twitchy about any spoilers, but I don't think there was any huge reveal in the one that was released. But so I think it's easy to sort of look at the marketing as a failure, and yeah, they don't really understand what Matt wants, and think it would be better if the creators had more say in what the advertising was. But I do think the marketing is in a tough position where they have to hype people up. That's their job. That's their number one priority, rather than preserving the sanctity of no spoilers or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame them because like, this is supposed to be like like the huge season finale that really gets like everyone's attention and brings them over to watch True Colors and stuff. But like, I mean, I think the one thing I don't like about the promo is that like it just killed all interest in like the dinner of the Battle of the Bands for me. Like I was just focused on that promo the whole day. Yeah,
I get
like
that.
it was like there, it was great, but like it was great, but then like I was just all focused on only like at most like honestly 20 seconds of content. Like I was more invested in that than like a 22-minute episode we got like yesterday. Which I mean, honestly, I think that is like a true testament to just how well they did this. Like it was just like a really good. It was like a really good promo, a really damn good one.
I think as long as a celebrity actor doesn't show up in True Colors for the first time, hopefully we don't get more new material.
Yeah.
Because honestly, this trailer I think is more not trailer. This promo is more than enough to last us until next week.
Yeah, and also what made the promo even better was that we know now that Yunan's going to be having an important role, which is really nice to see.
Because
I think we'll probably get the typical Wednesday one, probably with a bit of overlap. They've been doing that sort of weird Instagram filter thing.
I don't know. Oh yeah, I don't know if I want that though, because it's like I feel like we already learned. I feel like we learned enough about the episode of this one promo.
Well, that's why I said I
imagine that doubling up.
I think we'll get overlap with what was in the promo and what will be in the Wednesday one.
Yeah, yeah, because I just what I really liked about the promo though is like it makes you ask like so many questions, like that blue explosion, because like everyone's obsessed with that. Like I just said it was boom shrooms, and like I had 20 people just coming after me telling me that no it wasn't, and yeah, I just like the fact that it's like caused all this discussion, but yeah.
I don't think that was just an explosion. I think there were mountains in the field. This is like a magic boom shoot. I don't know, but it was like a nuclear bomb. I'm really interested to see what exactly that is because it's like far the most destruction we have seen in the entire show.
Yeah.
And I really want to talk about. I know we get like 1 second of Sprig launching his slingshot and like the blue explosion, but we're almost out of time. So I think I'll go through each of you. Will get some time to give your final thoughts on the episodes or whatever, even just like whatever you want to see next week. It's up to you. So overall, I really like this these last two segments. I especially like the dinner. That was something that I think I was waiting for a really long time and got what I wanted, which was the interaction between Sasha and Grime and the planners. And then Battle of the Bands was a really nice way to end the Wartwood episodes we got, as well as Sasha's inclusion now, or Sasha's addition to the cast, however brief it might be. And I guess, Uzbeks, what are your final thoughts?
Another pair of really solid episodes, although I do feel like they're starting to blur together a bit at this point. So I'll be glad for a big status quo shakeup. Yeah, just really sweet. Matt wasn't lying when he said they were wholesome, but there's that bitter taste of True Colors coming up. Which, yeah. It's going to be a fun week and a fun time talking about True Colors. So, looking forward to that.
Yes, Uzbeks will be coming back on next week. So thank you, Uzbeks. And Nick, what are your final thoughts?
Yeah, just like Uzbeks, like I thought these were two very solid episodes. So we got together and like I feel like just in retrospect, I sort of just get this what might have been feeling with Sasha because like it's like if this rebellion wasn't set up, but like just another handful of episodes, maybe like 5 or 6, we could have like just really seen her as like a different person instead of like what we're going to get from True Colors. Instead of just getting like, instead of just hitting rock bottom. I mean, just maybe we might have like gone for a different path. But yeah, these are just two really good episodes.
All right, thank you, Nick. And Fall, final thoughts?
Yeah, they were good. I was expecting Battle of the Bands to have a downer ending, but it didn't at all. So I don't know how the beginning of True Colors is gonna play out, knowing that it doesn't have there's no real connection from Battle of the Bands to True Colors like I thought there would be, similar to End of the Year. So I guess we're gonna be getting everything in True Colors then.
All right, thank you, Fall. And Advent, what were your final thoughts on these segments and even the future?
I really like this episode. Season 2B, since Post Redemption, have been a bunch of really solid episodes. I really love the awkward rise of the dinner and the teamwork dynamic. Well, we got to see a good look at Sasha's dynamic with the girls, and we also got to see Ryan interact with a lot of these characters, and it was really fun. It was a really fun way to like say goodbye to the regular Wartwood dynamics, and just to see how Sasha's relationship with the girls may lead into what becomes True Colors. So yeah, they were really fun episodes.
All right, thank you, Advent. So that pretty much concludes this week's podcast. Thank you all for listening. Next week we'll be doing a special True Colors recording, which is going to be probably a lot longer than. I wouldn't say a lot longer. This week we're around an hour, 30 minutes. Probably next week it's going to be a little bit longer, maybe 2.5 hours. Princess Cthulhu is coming back on the show along with Uzbeks and also Lemur is coming back. So looking forward to that, and see you guys next week. Goodbye, everyone.
See ya. Nice talking
See
with
ya.
y'all.
Yeah.